Hey YouTube, TCG Shack here. Today I've got a deck video that I'm pretty sure you've seen a million times now, but I want to get my own take on it. If you watched the opening for the Sun and Moon boxes, I pulled 2 Lurantis on the Sunday when I went over to Highlander, my locals. We ended up pulling another 2, so we've got all the Lurantis we needed. I've already got the vileplume set, and the other half got the Shinotic for the promo, so I wanted to give it a go. There's some things I've changed, some things I've not yet tested yet, but it's still a lot of things that I'm thinking about for the actual Lurantis vileplume deck. But here it is. Alright, so starting off with 3 Lurantis GX. Quite annoyed that I've only got 2 hypers and 1 regular art. This guy, his first attack, Flower Supply. It does 40 damage and it attaches 2 basic sorry about that, 2 basic energy from my discard onto any Pokemon in any way I like. And that's the main thing of this deck, in my opinion. And all you need is 1 energy with 2 discard, attach it, and you've got it set up. Its second attack, Solar Blade. It needs 3 energy, which is very easy with Power Supply. It does 120 damage, which is kind of the around average now for 3 energy. And it heals 30 damage from this Pokemon. That's really strong. It makes a lot of decks have makes it really awkward to 2-hit KO. A lot of times it can actually change it from a 2-hit to a 3-hit KO. For example, with Passimian, it'll hit for 110 at most. Actually, I'd say seems like actually decent average. 120 if you're fighting for your belt, not counting Kukui. And this healing 30 will suddenly turn that into a 3-hit KO, which is really strong in that matchup. And this one hits it anyway, so you're actually getting a better trade-off in the long run that way. I run 4. Oh yeah, I forgot. And its GX attack, it does 50 times the amount of grass energy attached to it. So majority of the time you'll probably do 150. It's okay. I find it more useful when I'm against the Volcanion, where I can one-hit the baby Volcanion with it. It's not something you should overlook. It can be useful just to get that little extra damage, say if you don't have a Kukui to hit with a Solar Blade. But having the Kukui with the GX attack actually does 170, which is enough to one-hit the basic GXs and the the standard EXs as well. As I was going through, 4 for Mantis. It's going into your main attacker. You prefer to start with this. Its first attack is actually really nice. You search your deck for a grass energy and just attach to one of your Pokemon. It is useful. It means that sometimes if you don't have the energy in the discard, it might be better just to leave this up for Mantis and maybe evolve a bench for Mantis into the Lurantis. Use Synthesis, attach an energy here. It starts getting energy acceleration in a different way. So this can get it from your deck, that can get it from your hand. Really, really nice. I played the free vileplume line. When I first made this deck, because I played a lot of other cards, I actually originally played 2-2-2, but I found that to be a bit... I didn't like it. I didn't see the lineup as much, especially if stuff gets prized. Then say you only have the 1 oddish left in your deck, it can be very difficult. What if you accidentally discard it? Well, not accidentally, you probably meant it. But if you discarded that Oddish, and your other Oddish was prized, for example, it just means you won't get that Vileplume. Having the free kind of makes sure that I am able to get the Vileplume line. I play the 1/1 line of the Shiinotic. Shiinotic's a good card. It's a good one to go into if you have like no other thing to go into, I suppose. It does search your deck for any grass type and put it in your hand. So I originally ran a 2/2 line of this, but I found myself more focusing on trying to get a Shiinotic out rather than a Vileplume or a Lurantis, and it has kind of costed me some games, I'd say. Like, it has costed me getting the turn 1 Vileplume Lurantis out. But it's good to have. It's a nice second option, but most of the time you shouldn't put like all your resources into looking for this. And I played 2 Shamans. I originally had 3 Shamans in this. When I had 3 Shamans, I found a lot of times that I'd get 3 Shamans on the bench, and it's because you don't play Skyfield. It started clogging up the bench a bit too much, so I decided to go into 2 Shamans instead of 3. It's been going okay, but I am losing a bit of draw power just to get a bit more bench space, I'd say. 4 Forest of Giant Plants. You want to see 4 ASAP. If you don't see this, then it's pretty much GG. You do need to get this like as fast as you can. Run 4 Trainer's Mail just to find Forest, find Ultra Balls, just to find anything to help with the turn 1 Lurantis. Well, Lurantis and Vileplume. 4 Ultra Balls, same reason. It searches out anything you need out of all the Pokemons. 4 Acrobikes. It gets things into the discard, like your energy. And again, it's like Trainer's Mail. It's more to help search out things. I run 2 Float Stones. I've seen a lot of people run 3 Float Stones. I can see why, with Vileplume having a free cost retreat. But I wanted to see the Vileplume line more consistently over having the utility of a Float Stone on it. 2, in my opinion, seems fine. 3 is a bit too much. I'd rather put other stuff in here instead of the 3rd Float Stone. I run 2 Level Balls and 1 Timer Ball. The Level Ball searches out majority of the stuff. I want to play a 2/2 line of Timer Ball and Level Ball, but I've not really got the room in here. I'd have to take out a Float Stone or something like that, for example, just to get the just put another Timer Ball. But Timer Ball's a good card, but it feels really, really bad, and you'll hate the card if you get 2 tails. It just has that horrible feeling. But I'd say you need at least 3 of the balls that are along with the 4 Ultra Balls, at least. I have thought of maybe going 1 Level Ball, 2 Timer Balls, but I wanted a bit more. It's just that 2 times in a row I've got 2 tails on Timer Ball, and it just made me hate it. This actually is probably the main reason I put Timer Ball down to 1 instead of Level Ball. Level Ball is a bit more consistent. It gets you your Gloom, the Oddish for Mantis, and the, was it Murloc it's called? Let's see. Morlul, yeah. But yeah, this one I'd be thinking of maybe changing around. Well, it's what I've got right now. 1 Revitalizer. Revitalizer just, it's a nice card in general. Helps me get things that I've sycamored away, for example, which is here. Ultra Ball is a nice option to have to be able to grab something back from the discard that you've had to discard earlier on in the turn. I thought of maybe playing a second one, but again, I've not really got the room in here. The deck needs so many cards. But I'll play the one just so I can do it if I need to. I play 4 Sycamores. It's the supporter you want, turn 1. It draws you the most amount of cards, discards things, means less chance of getting things that you didn't want. So if you have multiple forests, you can discard them and you won't be able to draw them back. And it gives Revitalizer targets as well if you happen to go into a Revitalizer. But one thing, I wouldn't deliberately sycamore things away thinking, oh, I can Revitalizer it later on. And because you're going for the item log, it means you can't use this later on. And sometimes it's prized, sometimes you can't get it. It's just a one-off, just so I can do it. But I wouldn't rely on this, basically. 2N, just a bit more draw power. Since I could only run 4 Sycamore, I was playing 3. I took out the third one just to have a bit more utility for my supporters, but other than that, it's just more draw power. 2 Lysander. Lysander's just such a strong card, especially if you don't have Versus Seeker in this deck. I think the 2 Lysander is just really strong. I wouldn't. If I wanted to go more consistent, I would take this out. It's got no use, obviously, for the turn 1 vileplume line, but for the long run, I think Lysander is just too strong of a card to not have. 2 Olympia, and this is one of the reasons I've taken out 1 Floatstone. A lot of times I can't get a Floatstone onto a vileplume, even when I played free. I don't know why, I just couldn't. So I now play 2 Olympia. I found that a lot of times when I try play it, all they needed to do was Lysander or Vileplume and it's stuck. I could slowly try to attach free energy onto it, but by the time that happens, the Vileplume's more than likely dead and the item lock's gone, which is a big part of the deck. So I play 2 Olympia just to see it a bit more, and you can play it under item lock, which is the main reason. But those are my retreat options with 2 Floatstones and the 2 Olympias. And reason to play 2 is because you do not run VS Seeker because you can't, so 2 seems fine. And I run 8 Grass Energy. 8 seems fine. You do see it enough that you'll be able to attach, and you see enough that you'll be able to discard it as well with Ultra Balls and Acrobikes. It's a good number, I'd say, with 8, especially with. Other than for Mantis, there's no real acceleration from the deck, so I wouldn't play any fewer than this. I think any fewer than this, I wouldn't see enough, especially for the kind of deck that. Especially since you need to get into the discard. But anyway, that's the deck, and tell me what you guys think, and as always, I'll see you again next time. See you, YouTube!